Welcome back, everybody, to Brown Bag Bets, powered by BetSperts. We are your daily dose of quick hit handicapping and sports betting picks. And today we're on StreamYard, which is always a lot of fun because we get to hear the music. I'm Alex Christensen. Joining me, as always, Mr. Andy Molitor. How'd it go, Andy? Too many goals in that stupid soccer game, but yesterday was all right, I guess.
Yeah, I know. I didn't expect the Ukraine to come out like that, but I mean, good for them. If I was going to lose the bet, I was hoping it wasn't going to be like a Scottish thrumping, like if they won 4-0 or something like that. So good for the Ukraine. The tennis was high level, great. It's finally Drew and I think we're gonna do this every year. Just take a long Memorial Day break. Like I'm going to plan a vacation next Memorial Day weekend and just be gone, because he usually is gone anyway in Hawaii, and fuck it, we'll just we'll vacation together, even if I'm heading to a different coast. But it was nice talking a bunch of men's tennis with him. Those were, just a couple of fun high-level matches. We had a very decent high-level match for one player this morning, at least. Continues to destroy. And then we are heading to the second set. I wish we'd have got a 6-4. That wasn't a great break at the end, but we need Coco to take a set off here. So 12 for the push.
5 games. Five games, Martina. That's it.
5 games by Martina Trevisan, which at that point would not cover the handicap. I believe it was mostly 4.5. If it ended up 7-5, you would end up with a push on the totally sold out to winner on the regular total and a loss on the handicap. So if it does end up 7-5, good jobs to the folks who set and, informed that market with their bets, because that one turned out good. What ended up being the second set for our Polish princess? Was it 6-2, 6-2?
6-2, 6-2, the double deuce. It's a tough matchup for Kasatkina, who this is her best appearance in this tournament. And you think of her as someone who moves very well, would be good on clay, but on these slow courts, it's really tough for her. She figured some stuff out this year. Again, pretty impressive. I mean, I think Drew even said on the deep dive, like 4 games for her was pretty good, and it felt pretty good.
Yeah. No,
it did 6-1, actually.
I was going to say, I didn't catch it. I just, when it's over, I just put I hit the star on Flash Score and be like, well, let me know when she wins, just so I know nothing happened or this match wasn't interrupted, because I wasn't going to watch that anymore. But yeah, we are hoping for
6-2, 6-1.
Hoping for some signs of life from Trevisan here in the second set. And one of those women, likely Coco Gauff, will be your other finalist for Saturday's finals. And we'll talk more about that tomorrow, because we'll actually have lines, we'll have props, we'll have stuff up. Probably be a few ways to attack that, because you could say, she's going to truck her and the total's going to be fucking 19 and it sucks. But there's so many props available for tennis. And honestly, let's get to your men's one, because I have a bunch I haven't even played yet. I have them in the queue. There's something about, for some reason, when I play props small, I want to bet 4. I have some OCD things apparently with that. I have 3 that I'm going to play for some small amounts. And I really want a 4th one, because it was, and I did post the one in our tennis chat. It was Nadal loses the first set and wins the match, akin to our, you've hit these a few times in the NBA series, but as Drew and I talked about last night, it feels like Sasha has to come out hot. And if he ends up, again, busting his nut there in the first set, winning it, it might just be Rafa from there on out. In fact, there is set exactas where you can bet who wins each set. So
I looked at those for a long time.
Yeah. So for Rafa, LWWW, which is, again, he loses the first set and wins the match straight up from there, doesn't lose another one. That pays 10-1. That's worth $25, right?
I was going down and looking, and I forget what's the price Nadal LLWWW that's Zverev's all over the place. Let me see. What is that?
Yeah,
that's 33 to
33. Yeah, we're looking at the same book apparently.
Yeah.
It's that'll be an interesting one. But I'm probably going to play a couple of those fun ones, and then just exact set 4 plus 175. I do like the total over a little bit here. It's going to be in that 37.5, 38 range, but looking for Nadal to get by, but not without a little bit of a fight. I don't know. Did you you don't watch as much men's as you watch women's, but I think this is one probably worth taking in. And it's a Grand Slam semifinal on a Friday, so may as well.
No women's tennis really. They're again Coco Gauff's playing right now, so I won't have French Open odds till tomorrow. Makarska they're playing right now. I didn't get lucky enough to get a match or two before we got on today, and the ITFs are all over the place. But when we get to the finals of this, I do watch some of the men's tennis, especially some of these bigger players. And as we've talked about before and kind of, backhandedly joked here, these Zverev matches, as you get later into Grand Slams, it's wild. They go over in just time and time again. His Grand Slam over rate, again, once you get past kind of the first two rounds when he's playing, some better competition is unbelievable. And I see no reason that he can't take a set or at least make things competitive here against Nadal. I looked at maybe Nadal to win and there'd be a tiebreaker in the match, something like that. I liked your look again, Zverev to win the first set. I didn't see anywhere Nadal in over 3.5 sets. That's fine too. I think Nadal wins this match, and it just doesn't seem kind of like the smackdown that we've seen from Nadal in some of these spots. Zverev with his serve has been able to do very well, and again, extend some of these sets. So give me Nadal to win in over 33.5 games, plus 160. It looks like a solid number, again, considering Nadal's about minus 225 or so to win the match, and the total itself is only 37. So, Nadal minus 335 to win the match, and the total only 37. So I get to put that together. I was surprised it was even honestly at plus money, let alone plus 160. I think maybe they're overestimating the correlation to Nadal and unders.
Yeah. I don't think, and we've been wrong before. I lose bets every day of my life. I should go look back and find the last time I didn't lose a bet. There was actually, I did have like a 3-0 day last week, one point that was none of them were my bets, but it's hard to not lose bets. I'll lose many bets. And if Nadal just trucks him because Zverev isn't in the right headspace, wouldn't surprise me, but I just don't see it. He's playing well. And like you said, that serve is really stinging right now. It's still clay. He's not going to end up with like 25 aces, but he's not ending up with a ton of aces. It's just, it's just been good serving and good second serving too. I think in the match versus, why have I spaced on who he just beat? Alcaraz. Mm-hmm. He ended up like close to 60% with his second serve points. That's what you need to win a match, is winning your second serve points. And it doesn't usually just come with the luck of, I won a lot of volleys. Like, it's because your second serves are in and your second serves are not horrible, just looping, waist high kickers that don't kick worth a shit. So good for him. Hopefully that's a fun one. The other match it was surprising that they made Rafa the first match. The night match will be Chilitrude, which is probably the right move. That one could be a good one. A lot of money is coming one way on that. The Eastern European openers for that, like minus 170. It's out to 235 for Rude, which probably fair. Probably fair at minus 200 is what I said last night, but I'll be watching that. Won't be betting it. You already talked about some plays for the finals the NBA finals, because again, it's been like 3 damn days of waiting for this game. I know Darren's in the chat here. Darren likes some props already. I played the Williams prop, of course, but is there anything else? Yeah. I wanted to talk about that as we get later into the series too, and maybe that's a conversation for next week. But I think, you, Darren, and some of these guys that follow the NBA, like, that's something I'm interested to see come like Monday is, once you get 2-3 games into the series and you have a couple of decent coaches, start to make some adjustments if there's some angles to be had on some of these player props based on like, hey, they have to do this. They're going to do this. They've done this in the past when they've needed a boost on defense, or they need some scoring, or they go to this sort of lineup. Like, it'd be interesting to see what we have there. But did you look anywhere else in the player prop markets at all, or are we just a Grant Williams podcast? Thanks, Darren.
Grant Williams, maybe. It looks like Time Lord is going to be out tonight. If he does play, he'll be severely limited. And I know a lot of people are looking at Robert Williams unders. Just skip that. If he doesn't play, your bets cancel. Try to look for the other guys that are going to fill in. And Grant Williams is going to get those minutes and those boards. I also wouldn't mind maybe like a Horford PRA over kind of situation. But in general, I don't know what to expect from Boston tonight. They really were beat up at the end of that series. They're going to come back after about a week. They have to play in Golden State, which is just a really tough place. We know in the finals, that place really gets up. I mean, it's not as loud as the Oracle was, but it's a pretty solid stadium and a great home court advantage for the Warriors. So no player props again other than that, but give me an over tonight. I think that this total here kind of reeks of a little overreaction to that Boston-Miami series, where we've now got a bunch of Boston information screwed up by the fact that Miami couldn't score more than 90 points for 2 or 3 games, which, again, as I look at this, I have this closer to 216. I tweak some stuff. I get even higher numbers than that. I honestly might look for an alt over as well for this number, but I think this is going to be a little bit of an up and down game. The Warriors being at home, I expect them to put up some points. I wouldn't mind a Warriors team total over, but I think as this game gets going, it's going to be a little quicker pace than what they're expecting, and things will just look a little much better. And there is a chance of a Golden State blowout tonight. If that's a thing, those are always great for overs. So give me over 212.5, and probably even grab like some alt over 215 or something like that, depending on what those numbers look like. Curious to see if this moves honestly at all today.
Alt over 215 parlayed with alt over like Grant Williams, like 6 rebounds, something high, 5-6. If it was 3.5, I haven't looked. I need to, like, when legal books became legal and people started to bet it, I kind of laughed. I'm like, those don't look that good. Like, everyone's getting limited, and like those lines are terrible, and they're paying 20 cents on this. And I'm at the point now where I am jealous because of the player prop availability. Because it's like, hey, Andy, you have like 15 offshores. Yeah, like 11 of them use the same player prop thing. Like,
and it's sharp.
Yeah, and it's sharp because there's so many different places feeding into. I mean, there's a bunch of paperhead skins that use Prop Builder. Like, that thing is
Prop Builder. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's the most popular one. So, like, 50 different goddamn books are feeding into the same market, and
it gets beat to hell.
Those are hard to beat. So, like, I do feel a little jealousy now that you guys have the legal books for player props, because it seems like there's always some laggards and there's some value to be had on depending if it's K props or some of this basketball stuff. And I feel like I'm really going to be hurting inside when it comes to football, because you do seem to find better numbers than me when it comes to first touchdown scorers.
It's the whole thing.
In general, it's like when I can get the same number as you on like 4 out of 5 guys, I feel pretty good usually. I think maybe once last year I was able to find a better number than you, and it was at just a horrible book anyway. So
I was on vacation, so I don't have my legal books up with me. But you're gonna have to move the office to Iowa. You really are. Maybe work from Iowa a couple days a week.
Honestly, it's not that bad of a commute. Like, and the town I cross in, I mean, you guys see the picture of the Casey's. Like, I could rent an office there for like probably $3 a month. Get my Iowa on. I guess maybe that's it. If I become this a professional props bettor, which is not happening. But I didn't drive down there this week. And if Corey Connors wins, I am going to be kind of sad, because that was like the one. It's like all my offshores had really close numbers for my outrights as far as what I wanted. But DraftKings had a 60 and I bet a 50 offshore. And so Corey Connors, I guess he'll be the one that finally moves me down to Iowa if he does take this down. He is not teed off yet. Talk a little golf. I do have outrights on a player in first, a player in second, a player in third. I guess it's player in first, player tied for second, and a player tied for fifth. So the leader, Will Zalatoris, was on my card this week. Cameron Young is a shot back. He was on my card. And Cam Smith, 2 shots back, was on my card. So a couple yet to double. I did the Cam.
A book should hang a line for all the Cams every week.
I've been saying this, man.
Camerons, whatever. Do a Cameron group.
There should always be, especially when you end up with some of these fields where you end up with, and I think you should throw in the Spanish version, Camilo Villegas, and then Cameron Champ, Cameron Triangali, Cam Davis. There's like 6 if you threw in Camilo. Absolutely should be a market. I'm looking at you, Dave Mason. That feels like something you'd do. You're wild, man.
We should tweet. We should send that to Dave Mason. He'll do that.
I feel like he could. Maybe for a major. Like, highest, it would be, for a while, it would have just been Cam Smith as like a prohibitive favorite. But now with the Cam Young coming on, you definitely have a 2-horse race.
A
Couple
Young, a
of
Smith, a Davis, a
yeah,
Riley,
a Tringali.
Tringali.
A couple matchups I played. I played 4 daily matchups today. One of them has started with, again, when a man's leading the tournament, he's usually doing pretty well in matchups. So happy Will Zalatoris over Jason Day holds a 4-stroke lead. Need that to hold on for another 5 holes. It'd be nice to start. It's always good to start the tournament with a win. A couple that don't start here for, I have no idea if Dublin, Ohio is in Central Time. I'm assuming it's Eastern. So if these tee times are in Eastern, then it is 11:24 and 11:12 Central Time for me. So in about 20-30 minutes for Kevin Streelman to tee off. But Davis Riley, one of my golfers from last week, a young man I've fallen in love with, over a Cameron King Tringali. Tringali is quickly maybe becoming the worst of the cams. I have him very low. He's someone, again, who's hurt me in the past when I have bet on him, which stunk. He was the guy who DQ'd for me. But Davis Riley is going to make cards a lot until his market catches up. It's one of those guys, and I think you've run into this too probably with tennis players where because you watch enough live tennis where you can look at someone's stats and be like, I don't know if they're that good, but you watch them play tennis and be like, yeah, they're good. Like we don't have the numbers yet, or they just turned a corner. They got a new coach. They're using new rackets. Like something happened and like all of a sudden their serve is killing. So same thing with Davis Riley. Like I look back at his stats and they don't suss out what I usually like for a golfer, but eye test certainly works. He's great. He's going to be around. He's going to win within the next 18 months, I think. And then Matthew Neesmith, another longer shot. This is way down the card. These guys are, like in the 150 to 1 range. But Streelman's been a fade for me for quite a while. Getting him at plus 100 here feels pretty good. I could actually look it up real quick where I bet these just so people don't have to go hunting if they don't want to. But it turns out both of those were at BetOnline/Lovig. Speaking of Dave Mason, kind of my shopping usually is just Bookmaker and Lovig for matchup prices. Sometimes I'll look on Bovada, but sometimes they just end up with weird ones. So Davis Riley over Tringali minus 105 and Matthew Neesmith over Kevin Streelman plus 100. Those, you get a little time. You got a little time to play those.
I can dig it.
I don't know what else did we bet anything else? Is that it for the day? I didn't bet any soccer. I didn't bet any. I mean, there's some college softball coming up apparently tomorrow.
We bet on that?
People are betting on softball. I'm seeing it. Like, I'll have to share.
I just found out you could bet on college lacrosse.
Yeah, I did.
It's an amazing time to be alive.
I bet on Rutgers when they lost to Cornell. That didn't turn out so good. I'm 0 for 1 on lacrosse over the last few weeks. So, yeah, lacrosse is a fun one to bet too because it's usually higher scoring. That total in that final was like 25 or something. That ended up being pretty low scoring. Under came in spades. So, Patrick McCann says, yes, it is a Columbus suburb. It is Eastern time. Turkish second division promotional playoff final today. Yeah, that's a tough league to handicap. I try to stay out of the League One when it comes to Turkey. I'm probably just going to call it a day, go get ready for a golf meeting, watch a little tennis, watch a little golf, and I think it's the kids
ready for the basketball game.
They want to watch it. I know we got it. What time does it start? Is it late?
Oh God, it's always late.
It's got to be late. So here's the beauty.
9 p.m. Eastern tip, 8 Central.
Oh, that's perfect. The kids want to watch another Mighty Ducks movie. They've seen the first 2 in the past week. So it's D3 tonight. And if I started at like 6:30, then I can just be done by the time the game's on. Then I can send everyone to bed.
They're not going to enjoy D3 as much as they enjoy D1 and D2. But.
Oh, God, no. The Iceland team, like there's no worse villain. So, perfect. All right, well, thanks for hanging with us. Good luck on everything you bet. Good luck on everything we bet, even more. And we'll catch you guys tomorrow, Friday.